Hi, my name is Monica Martin, and I'm going to be discussing my definition of technology. First, I am going to be discussing the works of Hannah Arendt, Pinch and Biesker, sorry if I mispronounced that, and Sarah Usvika. Next, I'm going to give my definition based on these readings and discuss the examples of graphene and body-machine interface. Then I will discuss the works of Donna Haraway and John Danaher, and we'll use these to talk about the future of graphene and BMI. Lastly, I will discuss the limitations of the ideas that I present. Hannah Arendt believes that there are three fundamental human activities, which are labor, work, and action. These correspond with the human conditions of life, worldliness, which is creating a world filled with artificial things which outlast the normal human, and plurality, which is the idea that humans are different and create their own paths. Arendt believes that all technologies can be classified into at least one of these categories, but can also fit into more than one. Pinch and Biesker want to study technology from a sociological standpoint. They believe that technology is more than just the application of scientific knowledge, as others have tried to state. In order to study technology from a sociological standpoint, Pinch and Biesker created two research programs, Empirical Program of Relativism and Social Construction of Technology. The empirical program of relativism studies knowledge which has been rejected by society, and the social construction of technology focuses on taking a multi-directional approach to studying technology and considering why certain technologies have succeeded or failed in the past. Sarah Usvika presents Lee Humphrey's ideas on the different kinds of flexibility in technology, including flexibility of language, use, and structure. Flexibility of language is the interpretive flexibility of an artifact. Flexibility of use describes how different social groups choose to use artifacts in different ways. Lastly, flexibility of structure refers to differing opinions on the actual design of an artifact. Usvika also discusses the importance of innovation in technology. She advocates for collaboration in communities and governments to revive the spirit of innovation, which has been lost due to the effects of social construction of technology. Now I'm going to discuss the different elements of my personal definition of technology. Under my definition, technology is a branch of knowledge related to research, invention, and innovation, which is separate from science in some ways. Technological findings and inventions can be classified under labor, work, and action according to Arendt's ideas. Technology is not limited to successful or accepted knowledge and applications. It can also include things that are not normally considered successful. Also, technology is more than just the application of scientific knowledge. And lastly, technology is socially constructed. Okay. The first example of my definition is graphene, which is a nanomaterial, which is the molecular form of carbon that is very versatile, thin, strong, light, and inexpensive. Despite all of these amazing qualities, there is still low demand because technologists are still unsure where to use it or how to use it. This is similar to the case of Bakelite, which Pinch and Biesker talk about, which was a synthetic plastic that gained popularity by chance during World War I. Even though Bakelite wasn't as technologically amazing as graphene is, the events surrounding its rise are what made it influential, hence the role of social construction on it. Graphene is amazing, but since there are few implemented uses, it has not gained popularity, which is an example of how the role of social construction, how there is social construction on technology. Graphene fits into my definition because it is not necessarily considered successful since it hasn't been implemented in many ways, but it is still important and should be considered as technology. Lastly, it fits into Arendt's condition of work, which is part of my definition as well. Next, I'm going to be talking about body-machine interface, or BMI. BMI is an informatics-driven technology which facilitates interactions between humans and machines by translating different bodily signals into commands. Examples of applications of BMI include keyboards, robotic arms, or beaming audio straight to listeners without the need for headphones, which is something that is pretty recent. BMI fits into the definition of technology because it is a widely implemented and successful technology. It is socially constructed, especially the way that it can be used in many different ways, which goes back to Lee Humphrey's idea of flexibility of use, which was discussed earlier, and it can be classified into arranged conditions of work and labor depending on the specific application of the technology. Next, I'm going to talk about the ideas of Donna Haraway and John Danaher in their works Cyborg Manifesto and Will Life Be Worth Living in a World Without Work? Technological Unemployment and the Meaning of Life. So both of them discuss the idea of a cyborg society. Cyborgs are organisms which are part human and part machine. Haraway advocates for a cyborg society because cyborgs eliminate boundaries, which opens up new technological possibilities. Both Haraway and Danaher push for cyborg societies, which are a growing reality, and suggest embracing the new possibilities. Danaher adds that if we do not become cyborgs, the likelihood of us losing control of technology increases, and technology would no longer be a human tool. Next, I'm going to talk about the futures of the technologies that I chose. I have chosen to talk about the futures of graphene and BMI in the setting of a cyborg world according to Haraway's and Danaher's ideas. In a society of cyborgs, the likelihood of finding a use for graphene would increase because, as Haraway and Danaher state, there would be more possibilities with cyborgs, so new avenues of research and implementations might be available to study graphene in a whole new light. Since graphene is so versatile, it could contribute in many ways to cyborgs themselves. It could serve as an extension of self externally, or could be used internally, for example in biomedicine. As for BMI, it could definitely contribute to the creation of cyborgs and would be a cornerstone, in fact, since BMI actively blurs boundaries between humans and machines. BMI applications are constantly advancing, and BMI would play a major role in the transition to a cyborg society, since it is an extension of the human mind and body through a machine. Lastly, I would like to talk about the limitations of my definition and my ideas about the future of graphene and BMI. My definition is more general than some other definitions, and it does just focus on basic elements of technology, including classification, construction, and human-technology relations. Other philosophers have gone more into depth, but that's where mine is somewhat lacking and limited. And then my prognostication is dependent on the idea that we will go to a cyborg society, as Haraway and Danaher talk about. If that doesn't happen, then the futures of graphene and BMI might look different. So that's just one limitation. Thank you for listening to my presentation.